Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Candy Pent Aura dab of the day. Today is, I believe, Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Well, we've been talking a lot about external things. Let's focus back on ourselves for today's topic. How do we become the person that we want to be? Think about it. A lot of times, people say what stops them from becoming the person they want to be is our own self-confidence. What stops us from what we want to be is an internal belief of we can't. What stops us from being what we want to be is generally just self-confidence issues. It's not about behavior, it's not about stuff you've done or not done. It's the spiral, I call it, of internal, not external, factors. So how do we become that person? Well, first what you have to do is look at the inside, okay? Because that's the first place that you have to understand strengths, values, and the purposes so that you can come closer to understanding what you're really all about. Now, taking time to understand key elements about yourself is good, because what it will do is it will give you the ability to pick your swim lane. We've talked about swim lanes before. Confidence in an increased area, in a specific area, means you can go further. If you're what is it called? If you know a little bit about a lot and not a lot about a little, it's not very helpful. Okay? So what you want to do is increase your confidence, increase your focus on what you're working at to help your life right now. And instead of focusing on what we're afraid's not working, maybe we should be focusing on what's working, how we can get away from the negative stuff, the problems, and the things that scare us. Because after all, think about it. People see us externally. People don't see us internally. We see ourselves internally. So the image we cast may be different than how we feel, if that makes any sense. So what you want to do is you want to take a look at your outward image and how you're developing, let's say, a way you stand or a way you talk, a tone of voice. Are you hunched over? Things like that. Because that tells a story to people. Mrs. Stoner tells me all the time she can tell when I'm in pain, just like that. And I bet many of you can tell how my days are, regardless of what I'm saying. So, if we're really trying to be the person we want to be, what do we want to be? Is it about getting a haircut? Is it about shaving? Is it about makeup for a lady? Can you, look in the mirror better at yourself? Can you stand better? Do you talk to people like this with your head down? When you're talking, is your head always like this, looking away from the person? Or do you stare people straight in the eye? It demonstrates much more confidence if you can stare people straight in the eye. It's important. Do you connect with them when you do that? And here's one that's hard for me, I think is important though. Do you listen more than you talk? Only smart people listen more than they talk. Only really smart people talk softly when they speak. The louder you talk, the less you have to say, unfortunately, in a discussion. You talk at a level tone, people will listen to you more. And what really can you do if you don't? In other words, if you don't look people in the eye, if you're not confident, if you don't have a good speaking voice, if you're not a good orator, if you don't look good, if you're all messed up, what do you do? How do you change that? Well, guess what? You might not be able to change that. That's who you are. But you've got to become comfortable in your own skin. So it's more than having a goal of who we want to be and becoming who we want to be. It's being able to say to ourselves, well, you know what? I want to be number 10, and I really can't get past number 6, but that's okay. I want to be number 10, and I want to be that strong, but I can't lift things past number 2. That's okay. I want to stand up straight, but I really can't. My back's killing me. I can only go number 1 out of 10. That's okay. So what happens here is it's not everybody's a 10. That's not the goal. The goal is everybody has a different plateau. Everybody has a different target to make them feel better, to make them be the person they really want to be. You know, a lot of times there's a saying, you're born into a family. All right, you don't choose your parents. You choose your friends. So if you are lucky enough to have friends, many of us are, maximize those friendships. People don't stay with people if there's a tremendous amount of negative. Does that make any sense? So if you're not nice to people, if people don't like you, if you're always a downer, think about the concept. All right? It doesn't take a reach to think about the concept. We live in pain. Okay? We can be downers. It's okay. It's okay. I'll say it again. It's okay to be a downer. Nobody's judging us. That should be looked at as a final judge. Judge yourself. When I ask that question, what kind of person do you want to be? It's not a question to the rest of the world out there. It's a question only to us. It's a question to yourself of what kind of person do you want to be. That's all it is. We're not talking about, oh, well, gee, what do other people think of us? Not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. What do you want to be? How do you want to be looked at? How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be remembered? And let's face it, it's a tall order. It's a tall order to be able to be the person you want to be. Billionaires can't do it. They have to surround themselves with all the things because they really can't be who they want to be. They have to buy who they want to be. Does that make any sense? So let's do the best we can to remember the following. Yes, you always want to be the person you want to be. If the tip of this finger is the finger I want it to be, I've accomplished something. Even if the rest of my body is a frickin' mess. Does that make any sense? Give yourself credit for small wins. Don't lose sight of the fact that forward motion of any sort is good. Any motion is good. You know, children, when they're misbehaving because they want attention, they don't just draw a picture and do something wonderful. They start a fire. They want attention. That's how life is. Okay? So, little things will get attention also. Do the best you can, and remember, even if you just scrape a little bit of what you want to be, it's a positive thing. This is the Real Senior Stoner, hoping that everyone gets to become the person they want to be. Cheers.